on YouTube? Well, it's the morning. I like to do my lives in the morning because I'm fresh and bushy tailed. I got up about a few hours ago. Did a little stuff. I did a little exercise. Went to my phone. Not much to do. I'm a single man with nothing else to do. I'm like boy, and I'm starting my morning with a banana. Mm. Did a little exercise this morning. I'm trying to lose some weight. Get a little better. You know. Also, I have a cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah, a cup of coffee in the big time. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm the cream of the crop. Too sweet to be sour. Tower power. Yeah. Mm. It's not actually coffee. It's not traditional. It's mushroom coffee, rise. I ordered this about a couple weeks ago. To tell you, drink it like for at least 30 days, 2 cups of coffee. I can't do 2 cups. I'm not a big. So I try to drink as much as I in the morning. Mm. Says that mushroom coffee is pretty good because it's not a lot of caffeine. Plus, it's good for your indigestion and stuff and balance and also a lot of stuff in it. So I need it because I'm getting older. So, folks, I just want to come on because every so often I like to do a little live on my YouTube channel because YouTube is where I am. This is where I have my 4,000 subscribers. I'm still growing. Yesterday, I was just looking through my YouTube and then a video I posted. It was a cut. It was like a good about hour cut from my interview I did with Lisa Apodaca. Now that video has reached over 800 views with nearly 30 likes, and that's only been about Monday we did interview, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's been about 4 days. Now I got a video where I cut some clips from the Triple O. One is for women's bodybuilding, I think with prejudging, and in the final post down. Those two videos are over 1,000 views. But here's the thing of that. Those videos was done about 2 weeks ago. This video has only been up for about 4 days. So I appreciate you guys. Even you guys, you haters. You know what? I know you hate, but you know what? I don't care. Because you know what? You take time out and look at it. You know you might not like it. You still looked at it. That's really important. So I give shout to Lisa, and she really appreciates. She's a nice lady. She has a great potential, and she has a beautiful physique. I would say she's a beautiful woman. Mother of 7 kids. I gotta give respect for that. My mother would have technically had 7, but one passed away at childbirth. So I would have had another brother. An older brother. And I have my older brother, my big brother, my baby brother. And I do have the oldest brother. That's my brother, Carlson Adams. We call him Carl Joe. He's my father's son, but he's still my older brother. And James was my big brother. He was bigger than most of us. So I got an interview tomorrow with Susan Davis, and Susan, amazing lady, powerlifter, bodybuilder. There's a great opportunity. My man David of you feel about it before we got to interview her. I reached out to her. I reached out for a long time, but now I got the opportunity. This is great. Check it out. Also got a couple of interviews coming up. I've been talking to some ladies. Also, we got some interviews coming up maybe by the end of the month and by next month. Some ladies I'm very happy to get the opportunity to have them on, especially one lady. She hasn't competed as a pro for a long time, but if once we get everything settled and set, you see who it is, y'all guys will be happy and y'all be astonished. It's for me, it's a feather in my cap, And I often talk about how we need some of our past competitors to step up and to really reach out because we want to know what you're up to. And also, as you know, that's Monday, I had the ladies of Team 4 Pro and to talk with Hella Trevino, Irie Anderson. I've talked to Gina a couple of times before. I'm a big fan of Gina Cavadero, but Irene and Hella, oh my God. For me, that was a highlight for my week. Having those two legends, multiple time Olympians, to be on my channel. And Hella, I've been a fan of Hella for a long time. She did a lot of the talking, but you know what? She was the spokeslady. I would say this is how you work it like this. Hella is like, if you look at the band, Hella is the front man. It was kind of like the Beatles. Hella's the front man. I would say Irene's kind of like George. What was last? What was last? The George from the Beatles. He's the quiet one, and Gina, she's kind of like Paul, but a little bit of Ringo too. But I would say that they were. We have if you had a 4th person. I thought Jay Fuchs was was one of the coaches, but no, I think she was a client for a good while. But I don't know. I should ask that if they're still working with Jay Fuchs. But maybe next time we'll do a little update. But it was great to have the mom and just talk. And one of the ladies who saw the video, the interview up, said we're planning to do another interview down the road. She really liked the interview I do with Hella. Some ladies who had the interview before, like also some ladies that said at church, who are some of their clients who had the interviews with like that. My channel's growing bit by bit, steady surely, and as it is. But I just want to come on here and say, y'all, thank y'all. I always want to thank y'all. Anytime y'all come on and support my stuff, my content, share. I saw somebody do this. Somebody took the interview I did. It's on. You can go to the Girls with Muscles and type in Lisa Apodaca. Somebody took me and David's interviews with her and made a little video out of it. And I took that video, I posted. That's the one you see in my stories, and also I posted and I tagged her in on my other IG account. Coffee about gone, just even there. And she's an amazing lady. Again, 7 kids. She's going to be doing the Steve Carr show in November. I hope I have enough time to really make the adjustments, bring in her conditioning and size. She has great potential. Olympian, maybe. The right show, and that's probably we're in bodybuilding, so a few shows. One thing I'm going to talk about is I'm going to do a video later for the Puerto Rico Pro. Saw the list, and for that show, the numbers are really low. We only have 2 women, and one lady is actually a physique competitor, deep in doing women's 40 plus. She's doing both women 40 plus in bodybuilding and physique. That's Ann Gruber. And last compete was 2023 at the Triple O Dynasty. It's been at least 3 years. I know she worked in training with Fred B. Small, who also trains Daniel Stanley, and also Big J. He's in Jersey, and she's gonna double dip. And that's pretty good. I feel like Ann's at that level. She probably could go up all the way to women's bodybuilding. Maybe not just double dip. Just go ahead, pick one. Also, Robin Mays. Shout out to Miss Robin Mays. She's competing there. She's doing both the 40, 45, I think 55 and 60. She's not doing 45. Why not do 45? But my guess is expensive. You got to pay to do multiple classes. Also, Michelle Dornan is coming back. And I thought maybe some of the ladies who just did the Triple O a couple weeks earlier could have done this show, like Mayla Ash, most definitely, Lena Becca, I would say Andrea Sauer, even Andrea Wellington. She looked really good. But I was talking with Andrea Wellington. She was dealing with issues, so I guess she needs time to really get back in better shape and work on conditioning and stuff like that. She looks pretty good. She looked really good she hadn't competed for almost 3 years, just as much as Andrea and Michelle, since 2023. But I thought we had some more bodies. So we're just doing 40 class. It's supposed to be 40 and 50, and it's only just doing 40 class. So let's hope maybe next year we get somebody to step up. I know somebody's don't want to do the master's class because but ladies, come on, we need the numbers. If you want to put something to Tim Gardner that you're going to come in for, that's good. Puerto Rico is not like it's the other side of the country. You don't need a passport. I know the cost of flying. Maybe you should take a cruise, and you can take a boat there. I think boats a little cheaper, and then plus you have a place you don't have to. You can move around. You can relax. Stay in a room. Just figure out when ships go out. Hey, with a plane you're tight. You can't really get comfortable. There's a lot more to do on a boat. You can work out, train. You have a place to eat, rest, and sleep. You got to set up maybe a few days ahead and see and check when the boat is leaving. If it's working within that time for you. But that's the one thing issue here. Another issue is I got a bunch of people because I got 2 phones. I'm thinking about getting a new phone. This one I had for a long time. It's cracked. It's running out of room. I'm thinking about getting one next month because I most definitely need it because I'm planning on going on my trip still. But here's something has changed. I was watching this video with this young man. He was at one point 700 pounds. That's a lot of weight to put on a human body. You know, he went on vacation to go visit family out west in California. So on this trip, he was going to, I think it was Southwestern, I believe it was, and they charged him for 2 seats. Problem was they didn't put the 2 seats together like they posted. So I'm still a big dude. So 2 seats is expensive for me. So I'm planning to do, I'm going to go by train like I did the last time. I did, but I had to leave a little day earlier before the show I'm going to go check out. So I had enough time because it takes at least a good day or more by train. I remember my trip from Savannah, I got Amtrak in South Carolina and Savannah to actually to Tampa. I stopped Savannah for about 6 hours waiting for the next train, and then another 6 hours waiting to go back. So, that's the inconvenience of that. Some trains will go, there's no transfer, you go straight. It's not just waiting, but sometimes they have to stop and wait, So, it does save me a few bucks. It does save a few bucks, taking a train over flying. But maybe next year I might do a flight if I drop some of this weight where I can be more comfortable in the seats because they say it's small. It really tuck you in unless you can buy first class. I don't have money like that. So, for me, I'm really hoping, it's talking to her. Yeah. Just a message from, she says she's excited because I saw a video with Lisa. Somebody posted a video about her and it was like, there were some incorrections with it, but still it was pretty good. But it's, you go check it. It's how she does it. The Ivy Pro mother of seven leads the Akadaka full biography, not full biography. It's like barely about 2 minutes or so. So, but this stuff that really helps. It gives ladies that energy that they're really doing something. Says my man David. We were talking, because he was dealing with stuff. When I post stuff, especially on YouTube or any of my platforms, especially YouTube, guys out there have two type of guys. I either get there's like a bunch of guys, but the regular ones who are not too bad, I'm okay. But the main ones are the guys who are hating ass motherfuckers. I'm gonna say that word because I'm an adult. I can say that. If you two don't like it, hey, you know what my thought about it. And the guys are a bit weird. I remember this. I got to find this clip where I did with Sean Nelson, who told me that it's weird when you have the guys respond to the video or a picture like they're talking to the girl. I'm not the girl who posted it. It's a picture somebody shared with me, or I pulled off their social media and I posted it in my YouTube posts or video. Guys, don't do that. That's not, you when you're talking to her, you're not talking to her because they're not going to respond to you. You're talking to me. The other guys say hi, she's great, she's lovely. They say her name, but they don't like. Some guys say, wow. They talk to her like they'll say a name yeah, Lisa Apodaca's a lovely lady. But then they start talking, Lisa, I love you. I want to. Whoa, dude. You're talking to me. You're not talking to her. I don't know if Lisa has a YouTube channel. She should. She should. She posts videos and stuff like that. Do that. YouTube is free. Well, it's not too free. I do have to pay premium. I got a premium program because I can do a little more, and like that. It's the cost. But it's a little pleasure. YouTube's not completely free. I pay about $14 a month with this because it gives me some little bonuses and benefits. Like one thing, like my phone is off, I can still play music. I used to do this when I was working out. I used to play music when my phone went to sleep. Not sleep. When you click that thing on the side of the phone, it goes blank in the screen, but you can still hear the music. When I didn't have that, if I didn't keep my phone open, when the phone closes, then the music closes, so I couldn't hear anything. But with this program, that's how it works, and also other bonuses. Now I'm not monetized because they're gonna have to also charge you to be monetized. And I think you need so many hours, watch time hours. But hey, I'm over 4,000 subscribers. I should have enough. But give me a little something in my tongue. But it's kind of funny. My man David, he's blowing up. Shout out to David. We talk about how he has to deal with guys, leaving comments. We talked about this morning. Guys, we appreciate your support. But again, when you make those comments, especially to the haters and to the guys who might be a little loving too much, You're not directed to us, and also it does help us bring attention to that post. It gives us a little attention. They used to do this. YouTube used to show where you have how many haters. I have a video I did about a young lady who was an MMA fighter who talked shit. And I had a lot more people hating that video than they liked it, but it took time to watch the video. No matter if you hate it or like it, that means you took time to watch it or pay attention to it. That doesn't, you see, like either way, we still win. Us content makers, we win because you took the time to watch and pay attention to that. That's why for Muscle Talk Monday, I'm going to have a discussion panel. We'll talk about what intimidates people about female bodybuilders, women with muscle in general. It's gonna. I hope I have some guests. I might have my usual suspects, if not just me and whoever else comes. And I want some. I wish I don't know you ladies watching or pay attention to me and my channel, but I really would like y'all feedback because truthfully, this is experience you go through. I don't go through it. I'm not a big muscular dude. I wish I did. A woman. I wish I had a little more. I got these nice shoulders. I got these shoulders. I got these quotas. But this is what we want to hear from y'all. What you go through, your thoughts, your opinions. Share with people that want to really understand what it is to be a woman in a sport that's very extreme and very considered masculine. Like I said again, I'm an outsider, and my crime. I'm a muscle person. Oh, y'all ladies with the big muscles, y'all tickle my fancy. Not too little. I had a honey didn't clean it, that coffee. But I don't brush my teeth now. But I would say that's what we want to hear from you. That's what we do. That's why I do these lives and do these interviews. That's why I like doing lives, because I hate to have to do all that editing like that. And I do edit some stuff here and there now and then, but I need to get an editing program on my computer. What I did a while back was giving some funny issues, so I had to reboot it and start all over again on my computer. And that's it's a good idea. And I hate that I lost a lot of the videos. I think sometimes they said that some of that stuff is hidden somewhere on in the disk. You can find it. You got to dig for it. I don't have the expertise like that, but it's starting over is not too much a problem. Just figuring out things and just putting things in a new direction. But yeah, but I'm also hoping that more you ladies who's been seeing my content, I really appreciate y'all. Who I reach out to you, and you don't reach out, fine, cool. I'm not gonna chase you. I'm gonna try to keep in contact as much as I can. But other times that no, I get valuable time. My time is valuable as much as your time. So if you don't feel like you want to do any of you because of certain reasons or whatever you feel like what I'm saying about is not comfortable for you, I understand that. I understand that. I always say actually I understand that. But other than that, get out of your own way. Stop using that damn excuse that I'm introverted. No, you're not too much introverted. You can get on stage butt naked and let people look at you. That's just an excuse you want to use. I remember somebody told me that. Yeah, it's an excuse that somebody like to use. That they're introverted. Just feel comfortable with who you are, who yourself. Come out there. Come do interview with me. You don't have to do it with me. My man David, my man KL, he did an interview last night with a young lady who's a OCB competitor. Shout out to my man KL. My man David just finished an interview with a lady who's an Ivy Figure Pro, just competed at Triple O. A couple of weeks ago. Also did another interview with a young lady. I want to catch up with her. They've been busy with their interviews, but I'm catching up there a bit. It's not a competition. Yes, it is. So, we got here. Let me see. It says them. I'll say them. Hey, what the? Whoever you are, I appreciate you coming through. But again, my challenge is about giving you ladies the opportunity to share your stories. Where are you from? North Carolina. I'm not going to give you exactly where I'm from. I just say North Carolina. It's a little small town in North Carolina. That's where I'm from. I'm from the South. We talk a little different from the South. Sometimes I do interviews from another language. I remember someone told me this because I'm from because where I talk very fast, and I had to learn to control that. Especially when I do interviews with ladies from other countries, because sometimes they may not understand what I'm saying, so I have to slow it down a little bit and be able to understand and be comfortable with. But it's a bad habit. One of my aunts, I talk just about like her, somebody pick up genetics sometimes. I think it was from the Hines side of the family, maybe not so much the McCarthy, maybe the Hines, But could be the Pages, any one of them. I'm not. I'm a mixed breed. But this is again goes back to guys. You have to. I tell you guys out there, you have to be a little bit more understanding. So these ladies, they sometimes they get the situation they don't feel comfortable with some of us. Um, so that I can hear a word that makes you happy. You know, um, they feel like men who follow you can get a little weird. That's why I say that guys need to pull it back a little bit. I don't know something to my too. It's not seeming like every so often he's just saying like men reels to some of the ladies in Nigeria. So, but I started saying, let me pull back a little bit because sometimes some of them busy, got a lot to do, and now that I send some to some people, and I can't get to everybody. So many ladies I want to keep in contact with, but sometimes we fall off because either they're not paying attention to it or they just say they're just done with me. So I just move on. I learned just how to move on. You play games though? No, no. I'm too old to play games. No. You other than maybe some of my phone, no, I don't do that. I got a friend, his name's X Gucci. He does gaming and stuff like that. His thing. I hadn't played video games in a long time. I'm 51, gonna be 52 in November. So the game stuff that's for kids. I I used to remember me and my brothers used to do this. Me and my brothers and my nephews used to play little game tournaments back in the day, like Sega and Nintendo, when we used to play the fighting games and play tournaments and stuff like that. One of my nephews, my youngest nephew, he used to be really good at it. Playing James Bond, um, Golden Eye. He used to be really good at it. I was the one to get killed in the first. Da, 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 boom, But again, we go back to the subject of I want to reach out to you guys out there and tell you something. I know your family's ladies. You follow them, you support them, you want them to pay attention to you. But some of these ladies have busy, and this also can be worried about dealing with certain people. Some guys can get weird. That's true for them. It's no offense to you. It's just the fact that some of you guys do get a bit weird. You know, yeah, yeah. That's oh, thank you. Appreciate Marlene. I can't remember your last name, but appreciate that. I appreciate the new subscribers. I appreciate all those subscribers I get, even the ones that YouTube makes for me. Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't, like I said again, I'm not monetized. I hadn't paid to be a monetized content maker. I don't make no money. Everything I do is just I do it because I do it. If I do make some change, a few times I had to get some tips. I remember one time in the live, a guy sent me some money after. I remember one of my cousins sent me something. I appreciate when I get a few bucks here and there. If it could be consistent, I would love that. But I could use that because I just sent a package to a lady that interviewed a while back. I hope she gets it. I'd like to do more of that because I know from experience of how life can be life. And it's good every once in a while to send something to somebody who might need a little help now and then. One thing I wish I can do if I could afford it, I would love to sponsor the athletes. I'm a little advice, keep going, making videos. Thank you. I appreciate the advice. I appreciate the advice. One thing I would love to do is I would love to sponsor athletes if I could. If I can't afford it, I get some security. Sorry about to the second week of this month. We're going to start the third next week. Actually, next week's the last week of the month. This is the third week. It's kind of, time really flies. Because we started, let me see, if you look at the calendar, let me pull it up real quick. We started at the end of, let's see, we started, when I click the IG, we started, because it's the 17th, and we started in the end of March, start of April. Then the last week was the first full week of the month. This week is second week, and this is second to third week, but it's really the last full week. And then the week after that will be the end of April and the start of May. So the first and second. The first is going to be on Friday. I'm planning on something. I hope I'm planning on something on Friday. So we'll see how that works out. God, time goes by. I mean, I'm telling you, when you get older, time flies. I gotta go to the laundromat next week. But so that's how life works. Um, I'm the only no. I appreciate it. There's other people here. I got a count. There's a count up top. I got at least 5 people watching and 2 likes. I don't always get people go respond like you, talking to me like you or Marlene. They're not going to, not all the time. I just simply go watch and listen. They're waiting for me to post something like, "Well, have a bodybuilder pop in on here." Probably not. This is usually I do this, every so often. I do a live on my IG at least once a month. Right? Sometimes I try to do a live on my YouTube. And also talk about other things like, what's going on in America, because I know what country you're from. I'm in America and we're going through shit. We're going through shit. Yes, shit's not a curse word. It's what it is. My mom said like word like shit is not a curse word. It's just what it is. People make it a curse word, but it's just what it is. We're going through because the mess we're going through with who we got sitting in the White House. He's a fool. He is disappointment. He is sad. He's a totally old man. You can say a lot about Joe Biden, but he at least had a little more intelligence, understanding how things work. We have to survive for the next 2 years and a half with this. We have to survive. And I'm one thing I'm glad I don't have anymore is a car. I feel sorry for you who have a car. I know I saw one lady posted that up in California, it's like $7 for a gallon of gas. Here in North Carolina, it's about $4. Some places it's $5. And it's just how it is because you put a dumbass in a position where you need that man should have been one pump chump, but he had somebody that did some dirty shit and he lied. And people like to hear the pretty lie and face the ugly truth. The thing is, the pretty lie does not help you none. It hurts you. You have to face the truth. It's ugly. Sometimes it's real, but you know what? Once you face it and get over it, you're fine. You get prepared. But whoever comes up after this mother, they're going to have a long time to clean up. But this is why I'm going to see it. I hope I can live to see that time. It's going to be a golden age. It's not going to be perfect. Nothing's ever perfect. Stop trying to achieve perfection. Humans cannot ever have perfection. We're an imperfect creature. Even when we're made by God himself, we're still imperfect. So stop trying to chase after the idea of an ideal based in reality. Stick to reality. Coffee getting a little bit. Once you start getting a little bit of that taste to it, that means it's getting cold. Plus, you get to the bottom of it. Taste the ingredients. I'm done. I need some water. Need some water. Oh, I got some water. I got some water. Got some water. Let's get my pills later. I think about going out. I don't know. My knees are talking. My hip is telling me something too. I'm actually my sister busy to get a ride. I'm debating. I know I need to shave this off. I actually told her I might want to do it Tuesday if she's not busy. Friday weekend I'm gonna use barbershops be loaded, especially even though like two places don't everyone go to barbershop. Certain times you don't want to go to barbershop is around a holiday or when school starts back. That is no. You don't want to go when there's a holiday coming up. Guys want to get some clean. How old are you? Like I said, I'm 51. 51. Gonna be 52 in November. Time flies. I remember when I moved up here, I was just 19. It was me, my mother, my brother, and my 2 nephews. My mom's been gone for coming up in the end of June. It's going to be like 6 years since he passed. My brothers and my nephews moved on, so I'm here. This has always been my home. This is other than the place I used to grow up in the country. This is the place I've lived the most. For 30 years. I got to do some certification next month so I can keep up with my rent and stuff. But I mean, I say this is home. I was thinking about at one point when I was working this job. It was pretty good money. I was thinking about maybe down the road I'll get a place where my mom stay at. So we gotta get we own your own shit. You feel like you're king. But when you're renting for somebody else and they can come in and do what they want to do, because we got to go to inspection in a couple of weeks. They come in and check the house, got to make sure it gets straight, look good and look clean and everything, look presentable. They just walk in, walk out, and just make some analysis and that and move on. But yeah, that's how it is. So anyway, as I was talking about, back to my trip, I'm going up north. I'm not gonna tell you what show, but I'm going up north. Something I've been wanting to go up north. The farthest north I've ever been was Virginia. That's been almost 20 some years ago. And been to Florida at least 3 times. Been to Atlanta a couple of times, but never really went as far up north. Now I have family up north. Where my father and my aunt and uncles and cousins live in New Jersey. And I was thinking about one day going up to, because this show New York Pro. They have Action New Jersey. They call it New York Pro, but it's in Jersey. I was thinking about going there. Now they don't have women's bodybuilding, so no. This is my thing. I would support promoters that support women's bodybuilding. If you don't have that division at your show, I'm not going. I wanted to go to Chicago, but now Tim Gardner doesn't have his show. I still go to Tampa, but I've been to Tampa before, but I might go again, maybe down the road. I'd like to go to Atlanta. I got a niece that stays up in Atlanta. Maybe Arizona, the Rising Phoenix, Arizona Pro. That's where I got to put some money. Or I'd like to go to Olympia, but that's good. Says this is from Hakeem. It says, hello, good evening, sir. Hey, good evening to you, son. You must be someplace really far. You're saying good evening because it's good morning for me. But I appreciate you calling me sir. Thank you, son. I know I'm an old man. I got the beard in my gray. Yeah, I'm an old man. So yeah, I got right to call son, son. That's how it is. How we in South when a boy call us sir. But thank you, young man, for calling me sir. I appreciate that. But like I said again, I would support shows that supports women's bodybuilding. That's the vision I've been a fan for a long time. That's the vision I focus on for a good bit when I started this content. I really expanded. I got it, we expanded to other divisions, even fit model. Put says you're going to Toronto, Georgia. I got to get myself a passport, which I don't have. I would love to go to Canada. There were some ladies who I've been confronting with that live in Canada. I would love to meet them. I would love to go to Canada. I gotta get myself a passport. I need to get, gotta get a passport. Canada, maybe a little south of the border, but not anything across the ocean just yet. Those long flights, I don't think I'm ready for. But I'll be glad to go to Canada one of these days. I gotta get myself a passport. I haven't even got a real ID. Oh, excuse me. That's one thing you want to get on a plane. You need a real ID just to do like within the country flights. But that's something I could, I think it's a good way to get right now with things going on with the country, passports are, they close a lot of passport places. I have to probably go all the way to Raleigh. If I do online, I have to, it's best if I can, get straight. But yes, Canada is fun to be. Yeah, I would like to go. I just gotta get myself a passport. I can't, you can't just go to Canada without a passport. And most times you can't go on planes without one. So yeah, I need a passport. That's something I got to work on. Like a lot of people who live in country, like states like I live in what we call, it's not so much a red state. It's, North Carolina is a little bit, even though it did help Donald Trump get the presidency, that was stupid. Fuck yes. But we've always been a blue state in a way. I think we kind of been purple a bit in the last couple of years. But there's nothing up north for women's bodybuilding season. You know what? If you actually look at the list, there is. I'm not gonna you don't have to tell her who it is, but you look at the list, just keep it to yourself. You get it, you see it, you see it, you see it, you see it. Ken, if you realize and know it, keep it on your hat, please. I'm already giving clues, so. So I'm giving you clues already. So Ken, you got to keep it to yourself between you and me, brother. Other people know about it. Most definitely my family, because I want them to know, because if something happens, I want to know where I'm at, if I'm up that way. And some people I know who know me, I always told about it. Yeah. Sure thing, Chief. Yeah. What you want? Thanks, Chief. Back to you, Chief. So can you see it? Say, do you watch soccer? Nah, nah, nah. I'm American. We Americans. Now we watch football. Football. I don't even watch sports like that. When I was young, I used to love watch sports. I played football in my high school, American football. We don't watch. I don't watch sports like that, other than bodybuilding and um some mixed martial arts stuff every now and then. I don't really watch, many sports. Basketball I haven't really watched much like in years. We just got finished with the I think we just finished up for the NCAA championships for this year. Uh Football. So yeah, okay, Chief. Yeah, that's it, Chief. Football won't start till another few months. Baseball just started up, and basketball is midway to its championships season. So I don't really watch soccer now. I used to watch it when I was younger. It used to come on PBS because remember here in America, soccer didn't really get big until about the '90s for us here. You have some soccer leagues, but never been a soccer person. But I hope you enjoy it. But anyway, one person I made Pele. That's the only person I know. And there's what's his name? What's the dude? I forgot his name. He's pretty. Some women know who he is. But yeah. But yeah. But anyway, back to the interview I got with Susan Davis. Susan Davis, amazing lady. I mean, her story about being overweight, and that's one thing always hits me when any of these ladies who were at one point obese, overweight like myself, and they found a sport that helped them fight the demons of obesity. That for me hits me because I've been always a big kid. I didn't really get big until I probably hit my high school years, and sometimes some of it was working jobs, not to care of myself. That's why I have a pacemaker. Had for this coming up in the years, it'll be 12 years since I had a pacemaker. I got it back in 2014. I was 39 years old, and then I got to think about my family history, but I wasn't taking care of myself like I was supposed to. I was working with this, but I should have paid attention to my health. I probably wouldn't have got one. But back to what I was saying. That really touches me when I reach out to a lady and I see her on social media. You overweight like I am. You found a sport, you took the discipline, you learn, and you adapt and you change. And that's the hard part when you're somebody who is addicted to food. It's hard to let it go. It's just the taste and the comfort you get from it. And people need to understand that, especially people be talking. You point people who are overweight. Sometimes they went through something in life, or just life happens. Jobs, working, going to bed late. Family traditions. I'm smart in my cooking now. Like yesterday, I did have some pork chop. Just a little piece of a pork chop, not big. My mom was going to be like a big piece of fat pork chop with fried. Oh my god! Oh, those days. My sister cooks pretty good, but I do miss my mother's cooking. I do miss it. I mean, any boy, especially after a long day of work. I remember my brother when he was alive. He worked construction. Sometimes he'd get off of work before I did. And he'd be here at the house, sitting at the table, working his jaw, say, "Hey, house." I like say, "Hey," we sit at the table and we eating. My mom's sitting there serving us because we her boys. She wants us to have some place to eat, and that's why I love my mother. I miss her. And I know I don't want to cry about it because she was not a perfect woman. She had her devils, she had her demons, she had some imperfection, but she was my mother. And I know some people may not have a relationship with their mother like that, but I did with mine. She was my buddy, my riding buddy. We used to when I got off work from my job after working 10 hours during the week, we were off on Fridays, me and her go ride out, go to yard sales, go shopping. My brother was off sometimes, me and her and him go out and have a good time. We spent our time with our mother, our woman. That's what she was. She was our woman. You can have a girlfriend, you can have a wife, but a mother, someone can never ever. Yes, I'm from Simmerning, and I'm still watching the stream, Chief. Thank you. I appreciate it, Ryan. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate it. I do. I do. I know. Like I said, I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm too hot for some, but I'm just right for others. Um, but she was someone when she got sick, I stood by her. And the stress of it, dealing with a lot of stuff. Then one time ago, when one of my sisters passed away, and it was just it was a lot. And due to this content, it helped my mindset when I met this guy online. His name is Coach Sheridan Harrison. He told me, George, do something that you'd like to talk about. I said, I talk about women with muscle. And, says true. Thank you, Navy mom. I appreciate it. Barbara. I appreciate that. And it helped me. And when she was gone, I had nothing left because the one person I taken care of, I don't have kids, I don't have a wife. I had my mom, taking care of her. And when she was gone, you know, says hi, cuz, say hi, see you too. I My cousin Barbara. Is it Barbara? You're my I believe it's my aunt or his daughter. She looks just like my aunt. You know, just look at her. And you know how it is. You know how it is. Your mother, I loved her. My or she always called her uh our great her uncle, our great uncle, God, Joe Hines. Always called me Joe Hines. Barbara, you older than me. Do I look like Joe Hines? Do I look like Joe Hines? I want to know because or I say I look like Joe Hines. Do I look like him? Do I look like him? Oh God! I saw that picture that what's the face? He posted it, and I took a picture and put it side by side, and yeah, I do. I mean, me and Mary took after. This is how Mom broke it down. James and Jean took after the Miles. Larry and Betty take after MacArthur's. Me and Mary take after the Hines. I look like Joe Hines. Mary looks like my grandma V. That's how because that's why I think Daddy loves her a little bit more than the other because she looks so much like our grandma. You know, but yeah, but I hope you do well, Barbara. You say, yep. That's my cousin Barbara. Her. You know, it's I do speak like a little bit like our or your mother because I talk a little fast too. It's something I inherited. It gotta be from the Heinz side. I believe it is. You know, but I do appreciate Barbara. She did a donation to me a few years ago. I appreciate that. I just like come out here to vent a little bit because again, I'm down here in Roland Barber, nothing much to do. Went to the doctor, lost a few pounds. That's pretty good. Jean's doing pretty good. Betty's doing pretty good. We're just getting old. Larry, he's living in Dunn now, and he's doing all right. We're kind of I'm proud of him. And maybe if I get an opportunity, maybe go visit him, come down here, and see my brother in a long time. Maybe I would love to go up there to visit y'all in Jersey, even see my aunt or my daddy's graves, just to show respect because I wanted to go, but with daddy's funeral, I just started a new job. I couldn't make it because I couldn't afford a trip. Or I couldn't make it because I couldn't afford it. But I know Jean and Jean and Betty went. That was the side of yeah, I would love to come. Just gotta say again, I gotta get my money right. I might, and even though I said this, I won't do a show, go to a show that doesn't support women's bodybuilding. But the show, the New York Pro, maybe go there next year. Just because the show's actually in Jersey, so you're still in Patterson. You know, so or you moved. Don't tell me details. You can maybe see me mentions later or something like that. But maybe come up there and visit y'all for a bit. Just check out the show, visit y'all, and just see my father. You know, it's one thing. Even though he wasn't around much, he was still my daddy. He was our daddy, and I was kind of happy we came down the last few years before he passed. You know, I always wonder what life would have been. He would have been a little bit more. I know we're talking about Aunt Or said like George, you don't know the whole story. But the thing is, as children, they don't tell us everything. So we would like to know the truth. Whatever issue between them two, that's their issues, but it shouldn't hurt us. Because we love you. And I still love my mom, like you love your mom. You love Uncle Bobo. I miss him too. And Uncle. It's funny when I found out that Uncle Sonny's name was Henry. All those years, I always called that man Sonny, and his name was Henry. Can't you believe that? Known most of my life and didn't know till the day he died his name was Henry. I think last time I talked to Aunt Pat was last year. I was at the store. She had a knee surgery. But yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, time flies, my dear. Can't believe it. It's like I think Mary was around when Sonny died. Yeah, and then she felt like the background. Yeah. Oh, this is my room. That's a picture of Gara, Naruto. Uh, you know, I think that's I forgot the other boy. The boy says this is a drag, and Sakura, and then also there's a woman with here with a picture of Naruto and Sasuke. Yeah, it's my nephew gave it to me. My great nephew Jordan gave me to that a couple of years ago. We were big Naruto fans. He knew I was a big Naruto fan. He gave it to me in fact it was my birthday. You know, you know, it's I used to watch Naruto when we used to get off of work. From my part-time job, I used to work at the strip club. But getting a lot of messages, and I got some stuff got to work out. So I won't be on here too much longer. At least give an hour. I got some messages. I got stuff got to work on. I got some videos got to make. Got to get a Full Metal Alchemist poster now. It was all right. I do like the phrase, the word alchemy of something equal value. To lose something, in order to gain something, you must lose something of equal or lesser value. I change it around a bit. One thing I said is the order to obtain is to gain something of greater or equal value. When you lose something of lesser value, you're not losing anything. But when you gain something of equal or greater value, you're gaining something. Yeah, I mean, I got at least 3 Naruto posters. I got one here over my head, one there, and 2 there. I got Superman. I got one of my favorite guys here. If I can reverse it, flip it for a minute. The Joker. And I got Superman. Yes. What makes Superman, like you look at Batman and Superman, it's like this is the two sides of the same coin. Superman is this alien with these amazing powers, but he grew up like a regular human, grew up on a farm. He wants to be treated like a regular person, but he has his great major powers. Batman is this regular guy who does amazing things with intelligence, knowledge. They just, he wants to be more than human, but he's limited because he is human. You know, yeah, Superman Joker, cool. Yeah. I got one with Batman over here. If but yeah, those are when I went to see that movie, I just love Heath's version of it. It's sad that he died before we really got to see the full thing of the movie. He took that movie, he ran with it. And that's why I use him in my avatars and stuff like that. You can go to my IG. I got Jack Nicholson. But yeah, Batman's my favorite too. Here's the thing: I was watching this video with Gabriel Iglesias. You call him Fluffy. He calls Batman a superhero. Batman's not a superhero. He's a detective. He has no powers other than the power of determination, and he's rich. That's all he got. He has no superpower. What makes him special? Because he is a man with determination. Like, if you ever saw the episode of Justice League, where they go after this criminal, Dr. Sleep, or Dr. Death, whatever we call, and everybody else, he took out most of the superheroes except for Batman. Batman was sleepy. And the part where Batman he kind of sleeps and goes into this kind of a state when he's sleeping in the doctor in the depths. And what you gonna do? You have no powers. What can you do? And he says, I do have one power, determination. He closes his eyes and he starts singing Zaka. He heard it in the commercial driving the car. He was using a commercial. And it's a round. And what rounds do is like it helps your mind. It goes he breaks out of it. They have a big fight towards the end. The guy stabbed himself with some kind of thing where he's put him to sleep. At the end of the show, you see Batman asleep. All the other Justice Leaguers are awake. Batman's asleep in the chair, and then the guy's in some kind of prison hospital. He's in a coma, and all he's playing is that in his head is that Batman fucked him up. That's why, and that was the Kevin Conroy voice of Batman in that series. Great to me. Him, Adam West, Christian Bale. I know people don't like Christian Bale. Mike Keaton, Those were my favorite Batmans. Not a big Batfleck fan. Hadn't seen Pattinson's version yet. Might check it out one of these days. And like Val Kilmer, just wish that he messed that up. And George Clooney's just the worst. He just couldn't carry it. He couldn't carry either Bruce Wayne or Batman. You know. But back to the channel at hand. Like I said again, doing pretty good. I got some videos got to work on. I got one view. As you know, Puerto Rico Pro is tomorrow. I got to do a video for that. I've reached out a couple ladies from that show. Hopefully get some interviews with them in the future. I got my interview with Susan Davis tomorrow. Also, my live Must Talk Monday. If y'all interested in coming by and giving your thoughts on the topic, it's in the live section. Let me know if you're a person who really want to be involved with it. I would say actually, if you are a competitor who wants to be involved, a competitor, reach out. I know you ladies don't want to be. You don't want to be too much social. Yeah. Quit that bullshit. Get out of your own way. Yeah, Chief. I gotta go, Chief. Yeah. See you later, Chief. Thank you for coming through, Marnie. You know, appreciate you. I do. You want to check it out? I'm gonna be live 5 o'clock my time in North Carolina, Eastern Standard Time, wherever time you're at. You know, every time is different. You know, I got some interviews in the hole I got to work with. Works in Cartman. Also, want to give shout out to Whitney Heaslip. Today is her birthday, 59 years young. Congratulations, Whitney. Her story, I met her. She actually saw me. Well, remember, just keep going. Yeah, thank you. You know, like my man Rocky Balboa said, no matter how hard you hit, how hard you can take the hits, and keep moving forward. You gotta keep moving forward. That's how winners do. Hey yo, it's funny he killed off injury, but the fact was, Ty Shire was still alive. The hell? They want a different story. And everybody else, I think, we all know Paulo got killed in the movie, in the fourth movie. They killed off Adrian. Mick died. Because in movie number 3, and then I think that last Creed movie, the only had people had left was Paulie and Duke. Let's beat some bombs. But yeah, the thing is, I got to keep doing what I'm doing. Sometimes it's frustrating. Reach out to people, do interviews, reach out to that. It's frustrating. But you know what? If you do what you love, you can keep doing it as long as you want to. It can get frustrating. Nothing's ever perfect. I learned that a long time ago. Nothing will go the way you want to go. One thing I said I would like to do, I would like to help sponsor some athletes if I could afford it, but I can't. It's already about the end of the month and money's kind of tight. I know I probably got to get some groceries maybe later on next week. Groceries are expensive. Oh my God. And one thing I remember during the pandemic, I was trying to eat a lot healthy. I was, because we were getting at least about $200-300 worth of food stamps. That's good. Because you know what? What it does is save money on cash. You got to think about it. Whoever becomes the next president, after this mess, you need to do this, is help people like myself who are on Social Security and disability, who got to realize, if you give us $200 a month in food stamps, that's extra money we have. We can take that cash and put it towards the system a little more, buy stuff, get things, have a little more luxury things, not nothing big or anything fancy like that, like a brand new car, maybe a decent used car. But when we have that little extra, we don't have to dip into our cash. We buy food, we have to buy food with. I get this little thing with some health benefits. It covers the cost of food and other stuff. But the company I was go through, they dropped it down really low. So when I use that money to pay something, then I have nothing to get the other thing. That's a shitty part about it. But whoever becomes president, you have to do that. You have to either increase the minimum wage for the working class, help benefits for people like myself who are struggling. We can use that because we know what we can put the money towards the system, help it grow. When you give people that deserve more, they'll put in more. Not the people who already get more, they put in less. They'll put nothing at all. And one guy, his name is Isaiah, he talks about people who are not illegal immigrants, who are undocumented immigrants, give us kind of work program we can work towards their citizenship. And they can pay it too. That's money you can get back. Because that money can go into things like Social Security, social programs, Help the people that are struggling out here. You know, people voted for this piece of for because of some idea, because he's a good liar. Yes, he's a mental sin now, but he's a good liar, a good con man. He knows, like that saying. They say it's actually a saying that P.T. Barnum never really said it, but you know how it is. Like that saying about was it she was Louis XVI's wife, Marie Antoinette, saying like, "Let me Kate," but it said that it wasn't from Marie Antoinette. It was somebody at the party that said that, but she was guilty of it. You know, but the fact is, when you give people who are at the lowest a little bit more, they want to climb up and be part of the system. They want to put in money, invest into the system. That's what you're supposed to do. You give the people who don't have less so they can get more. But the problem is, it's always going to go to the people who put in money in their pockets. They don't care. So whoever comes president, you have to make some change. Like one thing, ICE has to be rebooted. Things has to be changed, rebooted. Also, things such as civil rights has to be built up, increased. You have to go after dirty cops. Yes, people cheat out there, but you know what? It's not as much compared to the others. You have to do this to help the system, build it, recreate, reboot. This man already open exposed the racism, the that's already been there for a long time. The corruption has been there. He exposed it more. It was there already. It was there little many boots here and there, Papa, but he exposed it more when we got to office. Saw the truth. And now, right now, he's on his knees like a crackhead, like the crackhead from Men's Society. I do anything. He tried to sell a cheeseburger for some crack. That's right now. Iran just whooped his ass. He knows it because he was unprepared. He doesn't know what he was doing. You put a fool in the Secretary of Defense. There's like half the general who couldn't say, "Bitch, get outside, get out of here, you drunk," and throw him on his ass. He said, "No, we're not going to do that." These people have been prepared for years. They've been waiting for us to jump them. They've been waiting, and look what happened. I don't mean to get political, but like I said, I live in this country. I'm like my cousin. We're descendant of slaves. We're descendants of stolen people. We're not immigrants. We're not here illegally. We're stolen property. We've been living in this country for over 400 years. It's still a struggle. But then those little things that, even though what benefited white people, eventually benefit us. Talk about, from an action that really benefit more white women than did black people. But we did get the benefits of it because when it put in, which a little more, people go talk about Obama. Obama did as much as he could within his power, but he did a lot. He did a lot to inspire us that we know what we see somebody looks like Harris. Now here with Obama, he is truly an African American. His mother is American. His father was African. He's a true African American. I'm black. I'm a descendant of slaves. He wasn't. His family was immigrants that came from Europe. His father was from Africa. But me, I'm a descendant of slave. I'm different. So don't call me African American. I'm black. Obama's African American. His wife's black. His kids, they're black, but even though they are they're a little bit more, they have a little African in them, but they're still technically, black. But he's the true African American. He was a good man. Yeah, he's a good man. I wish people stop. The only reason he liked the fact was it was a black man's job was considered a white man's job. It wasn't. It was a job who understood it. Anybody who was president is not going to be perfect. You talk about Kamala Harris. She wasn't going to be perfect her first time out, but you know what? Over time, would appreciate her a lot more. You do this piece of. She's going to run. I hope she does get it. She got to make some mistakes and pick the right partners and good candidates. Gavin Newsom wins. Pretty good. But just gotta be smart. You can't play for the okie doke. You got one thing most definitely have to he's bad. You're working back, man. Separate yourself from Israel. You gotta cut ties with them. They got this country in a mess. It's time that relationship has really been it's a parasite relationship. It's time to cut ties. I know some congressmen and senators in office going like, yeah. But you know what? Nah, it's time. It's time. After what happened is realize that Joe Biden, even Obama, was kind of getting away from him bit by bit. You know, Joe Biden was too much traditional politician. And Obama started seeing the writing on the wall a little bit. You know, but but we just that's one thing we need to do: reboot the system, refix it, clean out the holes, fill in the loopholes in it, and just really do better and really help the people that keep this country core. Like when I had a job, I was working two jobs. I worked one job 10 hours a day, work another job 4 or 5 hours a night, and still couldn't live enough to live on my own. One thing was I didn't, I know if I moved, my mom would lose this apartment. She'd probably get her like a 1 bedroom, but this was our home. It's still our home. I call it. I'm a zoo keeper. You know, people come here, and my nieces and nephews and my sisters, I can remember. It's said hi. Yeah, say hi to you too. Yeah, but life's about figuring what you want out of it. And for me, doing this content and talking to people and have interviews and back and forth and have people say they appreciate, say thank you. I said, oh, you don't need to thank me. This is something for me. But I do appreciate the things. This is something about finding out what really drives someone like yourself. I also drive a woman who does this sport, bodybuilding. Or I don't do it too often like I used to when I do interviews with ladies and bare knuckle and MMA and boxing. I love to get some interviews with them. It's been a while. It's hard to get with them because they have one of them working through a manager and hoping we can get set something up sometime soon. And a couple of those don't respond, whatever, because and then I'll say you got a manager, but this is or somebody would say they use their coach, especially bodybuilders. The coach he's just training you. This is about your personal life. This is about you. Yes, we're talking about your coach. We're talking about it, but we're not going to try him because it's not about him. It's about you. If I want to interview your coach, I interview your coach. I'm interviewing you. Oh, but I got a few more minutes to stay on. I gotta take a shit, take a shower, and work on some things. I got some messages popping up. What's this? Check something. About checking my mail. Let me get all the messages here. Yeah, I'm on IG frequently. I know some people. I mean, there's always someone dropping messages like that. I'm not a bit distracted, but another few minutes. I'm gonna skip on here just a little bit. Says there with her. Do the scuba dance for edit. Who's that? I don't know that. For edit. I don't. What y'all talking about? Oh, Miss Lyric. Yeah, she's cute. I like this. I think she just turned 4. She's like a grown. She's like a grown ass woman. I like these videos. I love these videos with babies. And that's something I'm always gonna say. This my biggest regret is not having any of my own. I didn't put myself out there. I was not that good talking with women, and I was kind of shy. But that's my biggest regret. Always going to be that. Never, I say, well, my sister told me that you're not. I'm old now. I'll have the energy of the time chase after babies. Maybe if I did 20 years ago, yeah. But now, no. That means I don't have a leg. I have my nieces and nephews and great nephews, but nothing. My bloodline ends with me. That's something I think every man wants to have a bloodline. You know. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I got a lot of messages. Yeah. But yeah, it's crazy. And I appreciate when people respond and comment. I just shared something with a lady I interviewed a while back. I got to post it later when I get a chance. And another thing, somebody I shared with, I got to post it later. And shout to my dear friend here. Hmm. Wow. Well, I'm sorry, I'm just distracted. Yeah. Oh, this is from a friend. Shout out to Bev. Bev's been a guest on my channel a few times. If I can show the picture, it's a recent picture of Christina Mendoza. Hmm. She really look at that. Wow, she really dropped. Look like a good amount of muscle, but she's still a bit. You got to think about it. She's been wearing bodybuilding for the past 6, 7 years. She's really had to really tone down a little more. And also, one thing is, you're gonna do figure. I mean, you're gonna do wellness. You may have to get some tits. That's true. I've rarely ever seen a girl in bikini or even wellness do as well with natural pecs because it's a very feminine division. You want to have, and one thing associated with femininity is breast. I said it's about one girl I did a while back. She didn't like it, but truthfully, that's how this sport works. They want that look of femininity, and they're going to associate femininity with breast. I think she has a beautiful physique before. I prefer natural women with natural pecs, but in that division, you're gonna have to get some tits. It's if you feel offended by me saying that, then hey, that's your problem, not mine. I'm just telling you the truth, you know. But yeah, yeah, yeah. But sorry. Oh, oh, yeah. But but yeah, yeah. But I see, but I say, yeah. That's the fact of it. This is it's a very feminine division, and they want their women to look very feminine. That's just how it is. That's I mean, Bernie Mac would say that's how Ti is. That's how Ti is. So no offense to her, no offense to any woman, but that's how society looks at it. They value what makes you feminine, and it's going to be always boobs. I know I've already got some boobs bigger than ladies in sport bodybuilding. One of my favorite is sometimes I thought Andrea had boobs, but she has big pecs. She has huge chest, you know. But that thing, I don't whatever I would say take the forest here off. If you're going to commit yourself to this division, you're going to have to really come on. You're going to have to. It's no offense to you. It's just how the game's played. You again, you rarely ever see unless figure girls can go away with it because they're very more defined. Physique and bodybuilders can go away with it, but if you're doing wellness, bikini, uh, you're gonna have to get them. Even I'm thinking of fit model, but I think fit models girls shouldn't get them because you're very more slender, more natural looking, and it does take away the aesthetic of the natural idea what fit model is supposed to be. But you get them, okay, cool. But it can't be too crazy big. It can't be the size of your head. It can't look like speed bags from a Rocky Balboa movie. Yo, man. No. If you're moderate, nothing. I would say the rule is Nothing over, I would say, a D. Stop at D. Anything over that, it does take away still your physique. It would dominate because people pay attention to those more than the overall your physique. Now, I've seen ladies in bikini with, those. You get cheese that big, you're either doing porn or you're stripping. That's it. I work the strip club, and we had sometimes we had chicks with fake chicks come through. They were pretty big. We also some chicks with fake ass too, you know. But in a black strip club, ass is more valuable than titties. That's it. Yeah. You feel fit about me saying that? It's the truth. Brothers, we like a little bit more, in the back. We do so much in the front. But if you got a nice pair, we don't mind. But some lady will be a little more this and a little less of that. I knew one girl. She had a good side of these. They were natural, but then later on she didn't have much in the back. But then later on she got some shots and stuff like. She came in a little more full in the back. I mean, one girl, she had a nice body, nice, but then she got, because she wanted to feel more even, and she didn't have money a little better. It does. But again, most dudes like a certain type of shape, a certain type of look. And some women have naturally, and some women don't. So they have to make some adjustments to do that. But again, I would say to Christina, make your debut not this year. I think she's what she's thinking about, making a debut in wellness this year. It's too soon. You need a good full year or more. I would say make your debut next year if you're going to do that, or 2028. Again, the one thing is the judge is going to tell you still got a good amount of muscle from being bodybuilder for such a long time, and that's you either she's doing a lot of cardio, more she's stepped away from whatever gear she's using. One thing was that she just got to come in good condition. That's all it was. Just got to come in a little tighter. But that's what it is. I think some people are not as dedicated to the sport as they should be. If she sees a hit video, if I offend you, I offend you. Don't be offended. Those people said worse. I'm just making my commentary. It's my opinion. You don't have to like my opinion. It's mine. But again, this is about just sharing my thoughts. This is what my channel is. My channel can be a little bit, again, I said this, I can tell you ugly truth or the pretty lie, which one you want to take, because the pretty lie does not help you any. Ugly truth is going to be ugly. It's going to sting for a bit. It's going to hurt. This is my thoughts, my opinion, but you don't have to like it. That's how I'm just me. Ugh. So anyway, folks, that coffee goes through you, and that banana juice. So something's calling me. It's calling my name, man. The tiny boy. We're gonna jump and do a little thing, and I can work a few things, and boom. But I hope you enjoyed this conversation with me. Shout out to my dear cousin Barbara for coming through. Shout out to Marlene. Shout out to Ken. Shout out to anybody who watched this live, and I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all content. Life's a trial. You gotta take it day by day. It's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be tough. But I like this. I'd rather live a tough life than get an easy death. If I can live just a few years longer, because like I said, Barbara can agree with me too. Our family, we have issues, genetic stuff. But if I can go another 8 to 7 more years, that'd be a blessing for me. I'll take that. Any more than that, that'd be a miracle. But like I said, I got to make some changes. And I think I got to get on my own way. I'm the problem. I'm the obstacle. No one else but me. I got to realize that. I know I keep saying that, but I got to realize it. Oh, so folks, thank you for listening to me. Again, we got shit and shower. Good luck, good night. Get your man always your page. All the way to your page, aka the Emperor from my bottom talk. Don't like, subscribe. Good luck, good night, God bless, good morning, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.